DHA's budget comes mostly out of the Defense Health Program Budget account, which pays for O&M, R&D, and procurement for both DHA and those service-specific needs that fall out of DHA's purview. The Health IT budget is controlled by DHA with about $2 billion requested for FY15. DHA largely utilizes the CIO SP3, Alliant, and GSA vehicles and pays for centrally managed IT systems and infrastructure, as well as health IT spending for the military services. DoD spends about 10% on health IT every year, and while these proportions have remained steady, in this time of budget crunches, with less money than ever for major weapons systems, the department's looking for efficiencies any way that it can. These are the main drivers for DHA in FY15. We'll talk about the new EHR as a program, but to hammer home the point about looking for efficiencies, through the shared services concept, DHA brings IT procurement and management under one roof. Looking at their priorities, DHA is looking to augment their cybersecurity. Making sure data exchanges are secure and provide accessible information is particularly important as mobility expands within the healthcare space. For cybersecurity solutions, a good starting point is Frank Rowland in the Cybersecurity Division. Andrew Jacobs in the Innovation Office is a good POC when it comes to mobility. DHA is also embarking on an effort to standardize their defense health IT infrastructure to the desktop level. There's more in the planner on this desktop to data center initiative, but to give you a quick overview, its plans include creating a centrally managed network, desktop management, and expanding cloud usage. Virtualization, network security, and voice and video data solutions will be especially needed. D2D is expected to roll out roughly in tandem with the new EHR over the next decade. And you'll want to talk to Albert Dixon, who is the Branch Chief of Operations, Engineering, Design, and Deployment.
Here we have a top-down view of the military health system. The services got to keep their medical commands when DHA was created last October, but redundancies in purchasing, logistics, and IT, that now comes under DHA. What these commands are telling us is that it's still important to understand their unique clinical environment, particularly at the tactical level. How some health IT solutions or processes work for an Army Medical Command requirement may be a lot different than one for the Navy's Bureau of Medicine and Surgery. For example, some sailors receive 70% of their primary care on board ships that are often disconnected and isolated. I should also mention that for now, the new EHR and interagency responsibilities are being handled by the DoD Healthcare Management System Program Office, which actually lies outside the Defense Health Agency and reports directly to the Secretary of Defense. We anticipate that sometime in the next couple of years, its responsibilities will fall under DHA. This is the bird's eye view of DHA's IT shop. The names are included in the planner. But this organization, as you can see, performs many important functions. The ones highlighted are the ones I'll talk about, but there are more opportunities in place offices such as information delivery and solution delivery. Led by Commander Tony Thornton, Infrastructure and Ops manages the overarching IT infrastructure and support services for all of DHA's centrally managed and automated information systems. The Defense Health Clinical Systems, PEO, sustains the current EHR suite of IT applications and systems, as well as oversees efforts to work with the VA. And this office is led by Paula Friedman. The Defense Health Services System, or DHSS, is the largest health IT acquisition shop for DHA. DHSS is responsible for over $250 million in annual IT investments, and this is where the agency's data stores are located. And lastly, we mentioned Frank Rowland's division. They were important given the emphasis on cybersecurity.
An emphasis which is a major part of the medical JIE construct. DHA has a standard for interoperability on top of a common network and security infrastructure aligned to JIE standards. The idea is that these components of its future vision will come about through a medical community of interest network that will better enable communication and information sharing to support DHA's role as a provider of health IT solutions for the military health system and deployment of the new electronic health record. DHA is still young, and they're just getting their feet wet when it comes to big strategic plans, such as the medical JIE. So they're ripe for having industry influence requirements in security, big data and analytics, mobility, infrastructure, the whole gamut. Most, if not all, of the offices within the Health IT Directorate in the previous slide have a role to play here.
The #1 program in defense health is the DoD Healthcare Management Systems Modernization Program, or DMSM. This is the new EHR, and will rip and replace the inpatient and outpatient legacy systems. Right now, DoD has multiple obsolete systems that are costly to sustain and don't talk to each other very well. Now, deployment of the new EHR will last from late 2016 to 2019, starting in Washington State with other regions added in waves. What they're looking for from industry are solutions, just to name a few, that provide privacy and security up to standard, records management capabilities, and a system that has a modular open architecture. They want the best-of-breed electronic health record and are willing to pay $11 billion for it, likely closer to double that number by the time all is said and done. DHA will likely take over management of the program after the contract is awarded, which is likely in the late spring timeframe. Captain John Wyndham is managing the deployment, but you'll want to talk to Pat Shannon and Valerie Tran as well, since they're closer to the ground overseeing the rollout.
And while that's going on, DHA will use the DMICS program to acquire infrastructure and data interoperability capability so that DHA and the health entities it works with can securely and reliably exchange health data. And this will be done through data interoperability accelerators and single sign-on capabilities. Craig Schaefer is the program manager, and the primary deliverables he's tasked with will include data interoperability architecture, interface control documentation, terminology standards, and data exchange guidance. This obviously is a great place to influence how the requirements and standards come about. This program and the bucket of money that comes with it are great opportunities for data management tools, particularly data normalization, identity and access management capabilities, and solutions that provide SOA-related products and mobile applications. Ultimately, the goal is to allow users in different locations and organizations to access and use health data that has a shared meaning so that physicians are able to make more informed decisions.